That's how it began. On a quiet, rainy night, Mark Evans, 34 years old, a single father of a 9-year-old boy, was driving home from a late shift. He worked as a mechanic in a small-town garage just outside of Portland. Tired, stressed, and thinking of the lunch money he forgot to give his son that morning, he barely noticed the small figure running down the side of the road, soaked to the bone. But then he saw it, bare feet, tangled hair, a torn sweatshirt, and he slammed the brakes. Mark jumped out, rushing toward the figure. "Hey! Are you okay?" he shouted over the rain. The girl turned, her eyes wide with fear. She looked no older than 16. Her lip was bleeding, and there was a bruise forming under her left eye. She flinched as Mark stepped closer. "I'm not gonna hurt you," he said gently, removing his jacket and wrapping it around her shaking shoulders. She didn't speak. Mark wanted to call someone, maybe the police, maybe an ambulance. But something about the terror in her eyes made him stop. "Please," she whispered. "Don't call them. Just, please don't. The safe house." Mark wasn't the kind of man to turn away from someone in need. After all, he'd been through his own hell when his wife left 5 years ago, walking out without a word and leaving him to raise their son, Noah, alone. He brought the girl, who finally told him her name was Emily, home. His modest 2-bedroom house was cluttered with Legos, old car magazines, and single-dad chaos, but it was safe. Warm. Filled with the quiet hum of a life slowly rebuilt. Emily barely spoke that night. Mark gave her some of Noah's extra clothes, a warm meal, and a place to sleep on the couch. He didn't press her for answers. The next morning, she was still there. So was the fear in her eyes. A new routine. Days passed. Mark told people Emily was a distant cousin visiting for a while. He took time off work, juggling odd jobs from home while caring for both kids. Noah, bright and curious, bonded quickly with Emily. He didn't ask many questions, just shared his games, his drawings, and even his secret stash of cookies. Emily, slowly, began to come out of her shell. She told Mark little things at first, that she had no family, that she'd been running for a while, that he would find her if she wasn't careful. She never said who he was. Mark respected her silence, but deep down, he was worried. He could feel something simmering under the surface, a truth too heavy for someone her age to carry alone. Cracks in the calm. One evening, while folding laundry, Mark found a note in Emily's jacket pocket. It was crumpled and water-stained, but still readable. "You can't hide forever. I always find what's mine. No one else will have you." His heart dropped. This wasn't just a runaway girl. This was a survivor. Of something dark. Something cruel. He wanted to protect her. But how do you protect someone who doesn't want to be found? And yet, is already being hunted? The confrontation. It happened 2 weeks later. A black SUV started showing up on the corner of the street. Same time. Every day. Emily saw it first. She froze, her face going white. Mark confronted the driver. A tall man, mid-40s, clean suit, expensive sunglasses. "I'm looking for my niece," the man said smoothly. "She ran away. She's troubled. You'd be doing the right thing by telling me if you've seen her." Mark stared him down. "Can't help you." The man's smile never reached his eyes. "I always find her." Mark reported it to the police. They told him there wasn't much they could do unless Emily spoke up. Unless she identified her abuser. But Emily refused. "I'll disappear again," she said. "He can't take me back. He can't. You don't understand, if he gets me, I won't come back." Mark wanted to say something. Instead, he just hugged her. "You're not going anywhere," he said. "Not if I can help it." The shocking secret. One morning, everything changed. Mark had gone to pick up groceries with Noah. When they returned, the front door was ajar. Emily was gone. And on the kitchen table, a letter. But it wasn't a goodbye. It was a confession. "Mark, I lied. Not about everything. But about something that matters. I didn't just run from him, I ran from the truth. He's not my uncle. He's my father. He's also the man who hurt my mother. And then he hurt me. 4 years. Until I couldn't breathe in that house anymore. Until I chose to run. I never meant to stay this long. I thought I'd leave after a day. But then you gave me something I hadn't felt in so long. A home. A dad I could trust. I'm not running from you. I'm running so he never finds you or Noah. You saved me. Now I need to protect you. The aftermath. Mark filed a full report. The police now had a statement, a signed letter of abuse and identification. The man was arrested 2 days later at a motel near the state line, caught trying to cross with forged documents and surveillance gear. Emily was found a week later, staying with a women's shelter under an alias. She didn't want to come back at first. I'm not good for your family, she told Mark when he visited. But he only smiled and said, you are family. A new beginning. Today, 2 years later, Emily officially calls Mark Dad. She's in school again, thriving. Noah brags about her like a proud little brother. Their story made the local news. A family born not of blood, but of choice. Mark still works as a mechanic. Still gets tired. But every night, when he sees the 2 kids laughing in the living room, he remembers the night he stopped his truck in the rain, and how one moment of compassion changed 3 lives forever. Final message. Sometimes, the family you find is stronger than the one you're born into. And sometimes, the people who save us aren't wearing capes. They're just ordinary heroes who say, I believe you, when no one else does. Let me know if you'd like a script format for voiceover narration or scene suggestions for the video.